Hey Purposeful Dashers, it's Heather here. I just got to do my very first Toastmasters speech tonight, which was so awesome. I actually did it from home via Zoom because I was exposed to somebody who has tested positive for COVID. I have this slight nasally thing going on, so making sure to keep my community safe and doing my part in that. Because it was on Zoom, I was focused on the camera, but I did put up my phone to capture the speech so that I could show it here. Unfortunately, for some odd reason, it just stopped recording about 3/4 of the way through my speech. So I did re-record it just facing my phone, this camera, for the ending, so you could at least get the rest of the speech if you're curious about it. This is part of a Toastmasters pathway. And the very first speech on every single pathway is the icebreaker. The purpose of the speech was to introduce myself to the group and, of course, to begin my speaking career and make sure that I could get critical feedback so I can become the best speaker that I was made to be. If you didn't know, I would love to be a public speaker. And so if there is any event that you need somebody to speak at, I bet I could come up with a topic that would make sense and be fun and great and good. I'm sure of it. So you just let me know if that's what you need. Otherwise, enjoy the speech. I'm totally open to feedback. If you have any for me, go ahead and put it in the comments. The goal is to become the best speaker that I can. So as long as you are coming from a place of my improvement, I am all ears. Enjoy the speech. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. How many people have accomplished a difficult task in life that they are proud of? I was on a Peloton bike class a couple of weeks ago, and Dennis Morton said, the aim of life is not for it to be easy, but that the efforts are worthwhile. My name is Heather Williams. And I'm going to share with you 2 instances in my life that were not easy, but were very worthwhile. One involving a race, and one involving twins. I grew up in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the claim to fame is the Mall of America, and yes, I worked there in high school. I was on the state champion basketball and lacrosse team, and I was a starter and captain for both of those teams. I came to Colorado to attend the University of Denver, where I spent my entire junior year studying abroad in Avignon, France. Oui, c'est vrai. After college, I was really missing that athleticism and the physical goal and challenge that I was so accustomed to. So I started competing and racing in triathlons. And over the years, as I was building up the stamina, building up the expensive equipment needed, and really making sure that I enjoyed the sport, I signed up for the inaugural Boulder Ironman. On August 3rd, 2014, I crossed the finish line after swimming 2.1 miles, biking 112 miles, and running a full marathon of 26.2 miles. All in 15 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds, give or take. In 2016, I married my husband, Evan. On December 6, 2017, we welcomed our beautiful baby girl, Evelyn, who, if you ask her her name, she will tell you it is Evelyn Babwa Willems. After 2 months of newborn bliss, I lovingly turned to Evan, looked in his eyes, and I said, "Are you ready for baby number 2? And he turned and looked into my eyes and he said, "Are you insane?" So realizing that the Williams clan expansion plan was not a go, we started looking at other options. Now, there are 2 things to know about Evelyn's birth. One, she was a very easy pregnancy. I enjoyed being pregnant. We had very few complications. Recovery was a breeze. Everything about it was super. The second thing for you to know is we had no plans to have kids. We were going to be dinks, dual income, no kids, and live unapologetically a life of luxury together. And as Evelyn came into our lives and every day since, we have been overwhelmed with the love that we have for her. And we knew that families were praying and hoping and wishing for that same experience. It only made sense to us to look into surrogacy. On July 30th of 2019, I gave birth to twin girls who are living their absolute best life in Paris, France with their dads. If you were to poll a room and ask if training for and competing in an Ironman would be easy, you would get an overwhelming no, because it's not. Training is absolute brutal with the physical exertion, the time you need to spend on it, let alone the mental fortitude to get through the training and day of. If you were to poll a room and ask if going through IVF, carrying twins, giving and recovering from birth is easy, you would get an overwhelming no, because it's not. 12 weeks of injecting shots into my backside so that I could create a healthy environment for those girls to grow, developing gestational diabetes along with the additional appointments needed for IVF and twins, and an emergency C-section led to blood transfusions for me and the recovery from that. But when I tell you that crossing that finish line and hearing the announcer say, "Heather Williams, you are an Ironman," was worth it, I mean it. And when I tell you that seeing those dads hold their daughters for the first time in what felt like a lifetime of waiting was worth it, I mean it. I do not aim for an easy life, but I do pray we all put in the effort to make it a worthwhile one. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching the speech, guys. Super appreciate you. I will share probably all my speeches from Toastmaster, because why not? If I put in the time to do it, why not share it with more people? If you're in Colorado and looking for a great Toastmaster group, I am pretty obsessed with this group of people that I'm with, and that's up here in Arvada, Colorado. Thanks again. Have a great day.